Hello people and welcome back to episode 6, I believe, of our Total War Warhammer 2 Let's Play as Gor Rok. Last episode we left off with the marks of the Old Ones being invaded by Lord Skrull. We have a big fight to battle here. An important fight at that as well. Now we do have a couple of storm vermin in this one and the rest of them being Skaven slaves, and we're going to have to use our cavalry to great effect here in order to win this. Let's dive in. So here we go, the vast amount of Skaven forces converging upon our line. We started out with the chameleon, with the skink skirmishers out in vanguard deployment, and these are just getting some nice early shots on these clan rats to try and weaken them, although these Skaven slingers soon push them back. Over on the left flank we have our Pterodon riders and our Cord 1 spear riders trying to get a flank around. And some Saurus spears come in here. Well, just the regular mace infantry come in to try and deal with these Skaven and stop them from attacking our Cold One riders. The main line's also converging. We get hit by a breath attack here from the Skaven Warlock as the skink skirmishers continue to retreat. And we get a big flank of Skaven coming around here, and this battle already isn't looking in our favour, as we just get overwhelmed by the sheer numbers of Skaven. Only a small garrison trying to fend them off. Now Cauldron Riders get a little bit caught up here by some spears, which is not good news for them. But we just keep trying to push them through to eventually come into this back line of slings that sits around here. There are some Skaven reinforcements on their way somewhere in this forest. And that's the reinforcement that contains the Storm Vermin. Just right now you can kind of get an overview of the battlefield there of where the battle lines are taking place. And then a menace from beneath as well comes in and just disrupts this front line. And they're just so irritating. Especially when there's such high Skaven corruption in this area already. See our skinks here getting a lot of javelins into the backs of these Skaven. It's bringing them down really quickly. Before they themselves begin to get flanked by the Skavens coming in. But really for this battle there was just too many of them. Look at these Saurus just totally surrounded by Skaven and just trying to hold them off on all fronts. And over at the back there is another Skaven unit. These are Skaven slaves trying to get in, and then another menace from beneath hits our cohort right in the face. And then it really is just at this point impossible odds, as the Cold One Riders do their best to tidy up these skink slingers at the back. They don't look as though they're doing too much right now, they're just kind of giving the Skaven a bunch of hugs rather than attacking them. I mean, even then the spears do eventually catch up with the Cold One Riders, as our Pterodons continue to fire, just trying to help out the Saurus units, but really this battle is just a lost cause. And now the Skaven reinforcements have arrived. Storm vermin and more Skaven slaves spilling out of the woods, overwhelming the Cold One spear riders. They didn't manage to do too much damage to the slingers, unfortunately. And then our lines just become gradually more and more overwhelmed as the power bar tips in the Skaven's favour. We really could have done with some magic in this fight. See, right here would have been a perfect opportunity for a deliverance of Itza, but it wasn't to be. And unfortunately the Skaven just begin to overwhelm us. Our Lord falls as well shortly. The Pterodons use all of their ammunition, so it's time for them to get into the fight. And just look at all the blob of Skaven. Storm vermin in amongst there as well. You can see their little triangle shields. And another breath attack comes in as the Pterodons come in for some action. And they do fairly well in melee. They do actually rout this unit that is occupying the Saurus, but just because of the numbers they just don't last. The skink skirmishers do manage to get into a bit of a melee with some Skaven slaves, although the storm vermin soon come in and trounce that, and then with that the whole army routs. And that's the end of the fight. And unfortunately we suffer a decisive defeat there, just a sheer number of Skaven. We did manage to take out just over 1,000 of their troops, but we just got overrun by the sheer number, and probably my poor management of the Cold One Riders ends up seeing us lose that battle against the newly confederated Clan Pestilence. So unfortunate, but Gor Rok is on his way to reinforce this area, so we shouldn't be out of pocket too long. And it's a nice little revenge opportunity for Gor Rok as well. So they do raise the settlement, unfortunately. That is annoying. And in this episode I do want to try and confederate the Great Southern Jungle. And Clan Pestilence are in here as well. Looks as though Sotek are actually launching an offensive against Clan Pestilence as well, so hopefully that's going to divert their attention away from us, just for, even if it's a little bit, it's going to help. 10% weapon strength for Skinks, Chameleon, Skinks and Red Crested. Very good. And let's get Gor Rok over here as soon as possible here. I'm thinking Tarsik is probably equipped to come and deal with the mouth of Kaveza right now. Let's have a look at our research real quick. So we only have one option right now. Let's go for that. We need to get these other buildings built, really. Scrying pools and whatnot, but we'll come to them. So I think I'm going to send Tarsik over here, and then hopefully he can help secure this province by himself. Skaven uncovered. That's a pretty easy win. I don't think there's a need for us to fight that, especially if the garrison's already weakened. And they only have one storm vermin, the rest is just clan rats and slaves. Yeah, that's an easy auto-resolve. We're going to occupy. And leadership and fighting Skaven. Follower gained. And you killed Festit. And River Kraveza has been secured. Okay, so these guys are replenished. Quetzal is ready to be leveled up again. Let's go for that. I want the second building slot in Quetzal so we can grab the extra defences. We do have a commandment available here now as well. So Skaven corruption isn't really a problem. Vampiric corruption is on the rise. I think I'm going to go for growth and public order though. Corruption isn't a massive contributor. It's really the conquest that's causing us issues in the River Kraveza area. Okay, so Clan Pestilence are trying to attack Gor Rok. Again, yeah, we don't really need to fight this one. That's an overwhelming win. And that should allow us to come back in. Let me know if you guys want me to fight those kind of battles, even though, you know, it's a pretty incredibly overwhelming win. Then let me know. And Gor Rok has gained a trait as well. He's immune to swamp attrition, and also gives -5 public order in enemy regions, which is very helpful. Tarsik has gained another point here. Now I did want to get him lightning strike, but I think I just want to make him a little more tanky. His melee defense isn't the best, and that's going to give him the longevity to hang around a little bit more. I think I'm going to go for Blade Master. Yeah, he already has 61 melee attack, which is just incredible. For the Lord, he's really going to be useful for sitting in those lines and wrecking face. Gor Rok has gained another point as well. He does have Lightning Strike now. And I'm going to think we're going to continue buffing his Saurus units. He is pretty much all Saurus. with a small amount of skink cohort, so we're gonna level him to keep buffing those units. You can get missile damage and weapon strength for the skink units. I think maybe I might make Gor Rok a little tankier. Let's give him some more melee attack. And then Croak has leveled up again as well. I think we're going to have to go for Winds of Magic Power Reserves, I think, definitely for Croak. Let's come back in and take marks of the old ones. Colonise this again now. And then we're going to give Growth and Public Order back into this region. We are going to take a couple of turns here just to get the Saurus units back up to full strength. And I'm really hoping that... Okay, that's really good news. The Cult of Sotek have taken the Lost Valley, which is going to prove incredibly useful for us, because I want Gor Rok now to move into the Southern Great Jungle. So it looks as though those guys, Clan Pestilence, are having difficulty dealing with both the Lizardmen factions. Here he is. And he wants us to join the war against the Citadel of Dusk, which are over here. Not right now. We will fight them eventually, but I want the Southern Great Jungle under control first before we do anything with the Dark Elves to the south. Exotal has leveled up. And we can also introduce some more buildings. I think the Altar of the Horned Rat really has to take priority. Exotal is pretty secure. Tarsik is watching this flank here. And I think the Altar of the Horned Rat, this area really needs the Public Order. Otherwise we're just going to keep losing it and losing it. Okay, one more turn for Gor Rok to heal up, and then we're going to send him on his way to maraud around the Great Southern Jungle. And we can hopefully get some nice battles in there as well. I'm pretty sure that's where Clan Pestilence are holding out. New Cold Blood. The signs are clear. The Eternal War once swerves in Lustru's direction. Those that threaten to unmake progress of the Great Plan gain power and prominence. Their designs must be countered. Do you wish to swell the warriors' ranks to bring forth a Saurus, or skink hero to coolly annihilate the foe by fair means or you? Okay, well, we're not going to be recruiting any Saurus yet, and a Saurus Scar veteran would be really handy. Okay, so we get a mission. Let's take a look at him. Okay, so that's not the greatest. He has strategist. There's better perks to roll. Let's give him some weapons here. Might be able to fill him out. Gor Rok doesn't really need a Scar veteran, but I think I'm going to send this guy over to Tarsik for training, and that should help him considerably. Now let's get a growth building in the Headhunter's Jungle. This place isn't being taxed, so we should be okay to leave it. I think when Gor Rok leaves the province, we are going to go into rebellion mode. Yeah, we will. Just a few turns here, consolidating our position. We finally look as though we have some kind of control and have beaten back numerous attempts from the Skaven and the High Elves. Oh, the High Elves, they're not Dark Elves. And they're after trade with us. I can't turn down a trade agreement, I'm afraid. I need the money. Although I doubt that's going to go down too well with the Court of Sotek, who are currently trying to get rid of them. Okay, so we have an additional 5% tradable resources, and minus 3% construction cost, and plus 3% income from buildings for Gor Rok when he is in the local province. And Clan Pestilence have sent the agent out to meet him. And that's another easy auto-resolve. Pretty simple. Sacking that would be really useful. Just for that money, I think we're going to do that. Oh, we do have a new regiment of Renown as well. The Pokhopak cohort. We're called one Spear Riders, and the Amoxen Barbs, the Razordon Hunting Pack. That's going to be really useful. Let's level up Gor Rok again here. To give him that melee attack. I think I want to be taking him down this path now to make him even crazier. Weapon strength when fighting against Skaven is going to come in useful. We have another research available here as well. 5% from industry. That's going to help our income. I'm going to send Tarsit back to Oxotl. And then when he gets there, the Saurus Scar veteran is going to come and join him for training. And that's going to make his units better. So he has lost a few of his skinks here, hasn't he? Tarsit. Was that in the old battle? Did I miss that? I must have done. That's kind of annoying. I'm going to recruit some units for him. Let's get him a couple of red-crested skinks in. And Axotl can I could probably spend that money that we just got from raiding into this area, and then let's get marks of the old ones up again as well. I'm not sure where I'm going to send Tarsic. We need to at some point consider dealing with the Vampire Coast. Oh, they just tried to wound Lord Croak. That is lucky. We really don't want to lose him right now. No, we're not fighting the Orcs yet. We will have to face the Orcs at some point, and by the time we reach them, they're probably going to have stacks and stacks of Black Orcs. Let's bring Gor Rok back into the mortuary. It's a great experience for him, and then we're going to occupy that right now. And then we can level it up almost immediately. And then Croak has gained another level as well. This is really, really good progress. Get a ward save and untainted. Public order +5 in the local province. I think we're going to go for that right now. Whilst we are taking a new province, that's going to come in really useful. This place is deteriorating, but the new public order stuff should sort that out almost immediately. I'm going to send Tarsit back to the mouth of the river. And then we're going to send him in here to grab the volcanic islands. There'll be some really useful resources for us. See, they have ports and resources, exotic animals here as well. And Clan Pestilence, I guess, asking for peace. I'm afraid not, my little rat friends. You absorbed Ikit Claw and his disgusting clan who dropped the nuke on us. And I think the next enemy after we abolish this Skaven, which we're really close to doing now, is going to be the Vampire Coast. Okay, so he just stole technology. Gor Rok has leveled it up again. The armor can take him up to 120. Just ridiculous, the guy is nuts. Okay, so the Quackmole Crater is the capital of this region. Let's move through. I'm guessing that the remaining of Clan Pestilence forces are going to be in that region. How are we doing for buildings here? We can get another one in. We do have public order and growth here now. Let's get some more money in. Once we control the Great Southern Jungle, the Headhunters Jungle and the Northern Great Jungle, we'll really have the foundations then to start building something of a lizard empire, and then start expanding out to take the remains of Lustria away from the vampires and the orcs. And they have completed their ritual. We need 350 plaques, so we're very close. Actually, we'll be able to start our ritual next turn. The Shield of Aeons can perform the Rite of Resilience. Is the next step for Gor Rok's quest. And we do need to build an Old One Trove as well. Where are that? Where is that? The Old One Trove. We can build some resources in Axotl. It's going to give us 20 timber, but it's not really the most pressing cost right now. Let's move into the crater. I think we're going to fight this. Let's build a siege tower. We could do is saving up some public order buildings here actually. I'll have to wait a couple of turns for Gor Rok to build his tower. Definitely want the public order in for River Caveza, and we do have the vortex ritual available now as well. Yeah, we're still building that, continue the siege. Even though it is an overwhelming force, I think it's nice from a story point of view to see Gor Rok taking back the southern jungle. We have a vortex ritual available. Now I'm fairly certain that this is going to bring in the forces of chaos. It's going to give us minus 10% upkeep for all units, 6 public order to all provinces, recruitment capacity, lord recruitment capacity, and global recruitment duration for all units by -1 and 5 grand.
The ritual is underway, my lord. Even working together, it will take your greatest adepts some time to complete. Such is the ritual's power that the great vortex itself distorts under its pull. Be wary, though, for while the vortex is weakened, the forces of chaos will slip into this world. Ready your defenses, for they will doubtless be drawn to the ritual's power.
Okay, the preparations are complete at the selected temple cities, and the ancient plaques recovered from shattered temples and invading enemies are arranged by chittering skinks under the gaze of the Slam mage priests. A pattern emerges, a small part of the great plan of the Old Ones revealed, and the mage priest's eyes dilate as they join in silent meditation. Streaks of energy manifest over the plaques, joining into a coherent beam, which also draws from the pulsating geomantic web before traversing the heavens to enfold the faltering vortex. As the air throbs with ancient power, the legions of the lizard men array themselves to protect the ritual sites from any who would interfere with the great plan. So that's going to take 10 turns to complete, and we do now have a chaos army down here somewhere, so I'm guessing they're going to hit the marks of the old ones pretty soon, so we're going to get some defences in there and then build this city up straight away. That's where the money is going to go. Okay. So I'm probably gonna... I don't want to bring Tarsik down to deal with that. Otherwise, we are going to be left very thin on the ground in the north of our lands. Military alliance negotiated with Clan Pestilence and the Blessed Dread. That could be quite a problem if Clan Pestilence ask us to... Okay. Let's give this place some public order. We're going to come in and fight the battle of the Guacmore Crater. So here we are at the Battle of the Crater. We have 2 siege towers coming in here. Cold One Spear Riders stick behind to mop up any menace from below that decide to pop up, which works out really well in our favour. And Gor Rok's huge amounts of Saurus units all charged forward. With him and his siege towers and Lord Croak leading the line. And all these Saurus units are just going to charge in towards the walls. Lord Croak decides to drop a little deliverance of Itza up here on the wall, just to deal with these Skaven slingers. Just disintegrates the wall and all these little half-wrapped bodies. Just wonderful. That routs the majority of them. And then we do get hit from menace from below as well, as I predicted. And Claude One Riders just pick these guys off. Easy enough for them. And all our Saurus leads. We do have some skink cohort back here as well, who are just getting some cheeky javelins in. And Gor Rok mounts the wall here. Is the first one up. He's going to get some nice kills for himself. We do get hit by a chain lightning, unfortunately, which does some pretty significant damage to this Saurus unit up on the wall. Croak casts a shield of the old ones, and that just protects them as another menace from beneath comes in here, but they get wrecked almost immediately by the skink javelin, and then they're going to get cleared up as well by the Cold One Riders, who are coming back in to reinforce as well. All along the wall now we have Saurus coming up. These guys are just getting wrecked. Get another chain lightning in here as well. And then Lord Croak drops in a deliverance of Itza, which clears up the remainder of these Skaven. Just a little level 1 there, nothing too intense for the Skaven. And right now they're just clearing up the Night Runners on the wall. Gor Rok's in the action as well. Some Skavens come up onto the wall to try and stop the left flank from breaking, but really at this point it is just a futile effort with so many Saurus just hanging about on the walls. The Warlock gets some really good chain lightning cast off here, and he ends up with around 80 kills in this battle as a result of his chain lightnings, and he does quite well. But right now the city just overrun with Saurus. The captured battle towers that we have now continue to shoot the retreating Skaven. We have another menace from beneath here that comes in to try and get up in our skink skirmish's face, but Cold One Riders are quickly on the scene to clear them up. And more chain lightning just continues to rain down from the Skaven Warlock, who is sitting at the back here behind all his forces. And then we do have a bit of a Skaven frontage coming in here. And this is where Croak comes into his own just to clear up these battle lines that try to form to delay our forces. And that is what you pay for. Lord Croak taking out that entire unit almost single-handedly, as more Saurus continue to come down here. We have a little bit of a line developing here and another Deliverance of Itza comes in. They just move out of the way, but it does do some damage to the back of them. It takes out a fair few of them. That was only level 2. And then another Shield of the Old One comes in as the Saurus meet the Skaven. Head on in the city, and this Skaven unit actually holds for quite a long time, considering how many Saurus. You can see them all up on the walls there, all spilling into the courtyard. They really do just begin to overwhelm them. And then we're pushing in on the flank here as well, Saurus units coming in. Do get another chain lightning, unfortunately. Really probably could have brought some round with the left flank to get rid of that Skaven Warlock sooner rather than later. Another Deliverance of Itza there. Wipes out what remains of some Skaven Slingers. And then the Saurus just push in. Gor Rok is in there as well, you can see his green shield. And then those Skaven rout. And that's pretty much the end of the fight as the Skaven Warlock tries to flee. Unfortunately, he takes the head off that Saurus unit just with one hit. And then with that, that's the end of the fight as everyone routs and the Saurus overrun the city. So a nice easy win for Gor Rok and his legions there. Lord Croak racking up 465 kills with a tasty few Deliverances of Itzas there. Lost a few more Saurus than I would have liked to their Warlock, who ended up with 80 kills. The rest of the Skaven ended up with pretty much none between them all, very insignificant amounts. But we did well. Some good experience with the Saurus units. And we've also purposely injured some of the Saurus without shields, so we can actually merge and replace them with some better Saurus units. That's going to be an easy win. We're going to occupy. And he's got leadership and public order bonuses. And that's going to allow us to build some income in this province. I think maybe actually we should demolish that. Wait a turn. And then get some public order buildings in there as well. I'm very conscious that the forces of chaos are already here. So I'm going to go ahead and march Tarsic down. And hopefully we'll be able to deal with them in the subsequent turn. Whilst Gor Rok continues to consolidate the Great Southern Jungle, Tarsic should be able to deal. Okay, and they've come in. They do have Storm Vermin and a Warlock. We're not going to win that. I can just say we're not going to win that right now just because of the Storm Vermin against just 2 Saurus units. And Skaven Slaves. We might be able to win it actually. We're going to have to use our Cold One Riders to incredible effect though. So here we are. Yet another garrison battle. And you can see here the Skaven Lions moving forward. And I've immediately ran the Cold Ones through here to come and get behind them. You can see how the lines begin to form. These guys flank around, the spears totally ignore them, which is really unusual. And then in my error, I accidentally forgot to bring the skink cohort back, so these guys aren't as effective as they could. They get locked down immediately pretty quickly, and a menace from beneath comes in behind to disrupt the march of one of the Saurus units. The Cold Ones begin to chase down the Skaven Slingers. Unfortunately, there's just so many of them, they can split up and just begin to keep that fire up on the Cold One Riders. Do lock them down in melee. You can see they're throwing the bodies all over the place. There goes that Skaven over here. He does survive that throw, unfortunately, though. as the rest of his mates begin to flee. Meanwhile, we have a pretty solid line here engaged up, but the thing that really gets to us in this battle is the menace from beneath that just constantly disrupts the fire of our skink cohorts. Do manage to get this cohort out of the front lines, and really right now what we're missing is just magic. It's really useful for beating the Skavens, either it's breath or kind of an area of effect magic like Lord Croak's spells, which is really what we need. Cold One Riders continue to chase down the slingers, and really I need these slingers gone so I can use the Cold One Riders to cycle charge into the back of this massive Skaven blob. And again, more menace from beneath just continues to irritate our back line, disrupting the skink skirmishers again. Again, these Skaven slingers still persisting in not routing and attacking the Cold One Riders, who are doing their best to get rid of them. Just throwing their bodies all around. The animation is so awesome. Just throwing their bodies everywhere. Dinosaurs on dinosaurs. Skink cohort still trying to get rid of these Skaven slaves. See lots of javelins coming in. And again, more menace from beneath spawning in. It does just, the menace from beneath really swings the tide for them. And these storm vermin halberds do some damage to our Cold One Riders. I was trying to cycle charge them, although it probably wasn't the best blob to cycle charge. I was just trying to save the general. Again, all these spears at the back, just waiting to push through. We continue to cycle charge. The Skaven continue to sling as well, and they are doing some damage to their own units, but eventually it is just the sheer number of Skaven that end up turning the tide. As we fast forward here, our Cold Ones rout. They do come back, but not soon enough, as the Skaven Lord gets in amongst our skink skirmishers. And that pretty much marks the end of the battle. As the Cold One Riders come back in for some more action, they nearly get caught by the spears. But after that, it really is just a case of trying to do as much damage as we can before we rout. And that really is what we end up doing. See these little tiny group of Saurus just holding on against the storm vermin. But there's just not much they can do against sheer numbers as these skinks decide to rout. The Cold One Riders have just about had enough. Those guys are gone, and that's the end. Unfortunately, another close defeat for one of our garrisons as Clan Pestilens continue to manoeuvre around our main forces and wreck our small garrisons. I think if we'd have had just another garrison there, we'd have been fine, but the menace from below just kept occupying our skink cohort, and the Cold One Riders just not being able to be as effective as they could have been. But another loss. We'll see what they do with the settlement. I imagine they're going to occupy it. Yeah, I thought so. We'll send Gor Rok back to deal with them. And so the Citadel of Dusk are attacking another settlement here. And the Horde regions are attacking us. We are absolutely not going to win that. The Chaos Warriors reckoning, but Tarsik is there to reinforce, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Okay, let's bring Tarsik in. I'm sure Blessed Spawnings. Might just get him a Regiment of Renown to help deal And then I can level up the Saurus Scar Veteran as well before we head into battle with the Chaos Warriors. Okay. We'll make this the last battle of the episode. Banner of the Eternal Flame imbues fire damage and gives +6 weapon damage. Let's give that to the Scar Veteran. And then plus armor piercing damage, we're going to give this to one of the frontline units. We'll give it to the red crested skink. And let's go. So here we have big line of Saurus. We have our skink cohort on the left. These guys are going to try and flank. Big line of Saurus and red crested in the middle. And our new, these are the new salamanders. The Regiment of Renown version. Looking really cool. You can see them right side by side to the regular version here. Pterodon started out in Vanguard deployment and started doing damage straight away to this Hellfire Cannon. That really gives us a fair bit of grief in this fight. See now the Salamanders getting their shots in on the cavalry, and these guys get wrecked pretty quickly by all the fire that comes from the Salamanders. They send forward some Chaos Warriors to meet our Salamanders, but the red crested skinks are straight in. And these guys do alright. Now we have these Chaos Spawn here that do really bad damage to our red crested skinks here. Tarsic tries to come in alongside the new Saurus Scar Veteran that has joined Tarsic's army. Meanwhile, over on the left, the skink cohort are absolutely wrecking some Chaos Warriors here. These guys have so little armour that they stand little to no chance against all these javelins that have got a wonderful position for firing into the back of all of these Chaos Warriors here. These guys just get absolutely shredded. The cavalry routes up on the hill, but it does come back. Meanwhile, the Salamanders begin to flank around to the right, whilst the Pterodons continue to batter the Hellfire Cannon to finally get rid of it. Pterodon riders come in and drop their bombs. On the back, and really the thing that causes the biggest amount of grief in this fight is the Chaos Spawn. We had no anti-large in this fight, which really gave us a problem with them. Salamanders wreck the cavalry that comes back from routing. See, they're pretty much gone straight away. And then these guys decide they're going to start firing into the back of this group of Chaos Warriors in a moment. Again, the cohort continuing just to fire into the ranks of the Chaos Warriors. And the Pterodons as well, who have proven to be such a useful unit with their fire bombs. You know, these Salamanders now just really like the Salamanders. They're such a great unit. Super useful for just breaking enemy lines from behind and the side. And that's pretty much it. The rest of the Chaos Forces rout, and we do decide to chase them down, so they have as few as possible units for the next time they come back to fight us. See the Pterodons here just getting in some final fire bombs as the cohort chases them down. The Javelins had a really good fight here as well. They had a really good position. And of course now we have the extra damage from the research that we did for them, and the Salamanders here just continuing to fire into the retreating Chaos Warriors, and they're being chased down by skinks who can outrun them. The Red Cresteds had a good fight here, and they just carry on chasing them down. The Chaos Lord does retreat with about half of his health, though he is pursued by Tarsic and his Scar Veteran. He didn't have an amazing fight, but they were up against the Chaos Spawn, so they're not going to do too much damage to those. Again, the Salamander's just getting loads of attacks in there, really good. But easy fight, and good to see the new Salamanders in action. great win there against the Forces of Chaos. We finally got to try out the new Salamander hunting pack, the Axum and Barbs, who were incredibly effective. Some of our red crested skinks taking an absolute pounding, but they did well. And the Saurus Scar Veteran getting in there as well. Although they were dealing with the Chaos Spawn, the monstrous infantry. So really we could do with some anti-large in this army. That would be tremendously helpful. And then we're going to go ahead and get the recruitment for that as well. And that's going to send them fleeing away. And that's going to allow Tarsic to colonise Marks of the Old Ones again. And unfortunately they have destroyed it, which is so annoying. But that's what you get, I suppose. Tarsic's leveled up. Let's finish this turn off. Another 10 hit points for Tarsic might be good. But I want to take him down this route here. I think we're going to go for some extra armour for him. And now we have quite a considerable lack of forces in the northern district, so we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to get a Slam Mage Priest to lead the new army. So this guy's going to come in. Now what do we want? I think fire would be light. I think the Law of Light is supposedly quite good. But I think we're going to go for fire for right now. And here he is. So he has minus 30% miscast chance, 30 XP per turn, and winds of magic plus 20. Super useful. Okay, so he can reside at Quetzal. That should be okay. We're at war with these guys now. We need to be careful with them. And we do have another commandment available. Let's give the public order and the growth for right now. And then we will need to send Gor Rok back to the mortuary. But that feels like a good place to leave this episode. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. If you did enjoy it, a like on the video is very much appreciated. And equally so, if you don't enjoy Total Warhammer 2, then feel free to leave a dislike. Makes me know what you guys do and don't enjoy. We're up to 54 subscribers now, so thank you very much for that. I just want to say a quick thank you. The FIFA series started over the weekend on the channel, so go ahead and check that out if you're into football. I think we're going to have a good time there doing a youth academy career for all 15 seasons, so hopefully you guys will be around for the duration of that one. Otherwise guys, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.